Good morning, gang. First, let me apologize. I have terrible video quality, but I wanted to do this video, first of all, to thank everybody for the wonderful comments and emails from my last video about finally having a normal BMI. So thank you all for your support and your well wishes and congratulations. I appreciate that a lot. Secondly, there were a couple comments and an email that I got that actually posed a very interesting question to me, and I hadn't given it much thought recently until the comments and the email came in. But the very interesting question that or situation that was presented was, how am I dealing with male attention? And interestingly enough, I'm dealing with it like a normal person, I think. One of the things that I found really interesting about this entire process is body dysmorphia. I don't think there's any cut and dry categories that we all fall into, but I'd have to say I see two main categories. Again, not everybody fits into those categories, but what I've pretty much encountered is there's those of us that have been obese or overweight our entire lives. We had our childhoods, teenage years, into adulthood. We've just always been large and then have weight loss surgery and lose weight. And then there's those of us that maybe weren't overweight as children or teenagers and maybe became obese, in their teens or in their adult lives. And in my opinion, I think that can influence our body dysmorphia one way or the other. Again, I can only speak from personal experience, but I was a very skinny little kid. I had a very obese mother, and I had a sister who fought obesity as a child on. Every summer when she was a teenager, she got sent off to what they called fat camp. It was called Camp Shane in New York, and it was a weight loss camp for kids. I, on the other hand, always went to horseback riding camp or just regular old day camp. But the funny thing is in my mind, maybe because I was in a household with just a mother and sister who are obese, I just always assumed I was obese. So through my teens, yeah, I probably carried a few extra pounds, but by no means was I, fat or obese. My obesity occurred in my early 20s after my mother passed away. I mean, I've talked about this before. It's nothing new. But at the age of 23, I entered into a really dark time in my life, and I spent the next 10 years gaining well over 100 pounds. My body dysmorphia was reversed, where I didn't see myself that big. So as I started losing weight, yeah, it took my head a while to wrap around the fact that I was losing all these gobs of weight. But I guess I've been, since I was 7 months out, I've been in the 160s. So for the last 2 months, I've kind of had an opportunity to get used to my body being where it was as a teenager, or maybe even a preteen, because I'm definitely smaller than I was when I was 16. But there was a part of my life that I was this weight. And that reverse body dysmorphia that I didn't realize I had gotten over 280 pounds, and now to be, a new weigh-in, 156 pounds, it just doesn't seem that far-fetched to me. I just feel like I put myself back where I should have been all along. So, I'm not, just personally speaking, I'm not really having that much of an issue with body dysmorphia. I definitely see 156 pounds in the mirror. I have a little bit of excess skin in my belly area, but I just went through a huge weight loss cycle, which I thought those days were over. I mean, I've dropped, 10 pounds this last month, and it's just the way my body's losing. For some reason, I stalled for the longest time, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, seriously, within the last week, I think I've dropped 7 pounds. I don't try to make rhyme or reason out of it. I said in my last video, I no longer look for patterns or predictability. This just is what it is. My body's going to give back to me what it wants to give back. I just keep asking from it, and I just stick to the rules, and I do my exercise, and even if that scale doesn't budge, I just keep doing what I committed to doing. And proof positive that we will get results. We just have to, keep our mind in the game. Male attention is definitely interesting. I've never dealt well with it ever in my life, even when I was thin. So what I find now is just to be me and be true to myself and try not to have any preconceived notions of why men are now hitting on me. Maybe they were always hitting on me, but I just didn't think highly enough of myself to actually validate it as getting hit on. Maybe now I'm loving myself enough that I'm open to people that smile at me or talk to me. I can't really put a definitive finger on it. I just know that if anybody, male or female, wants to smile at me, I'm not afraid now to smile back. Where when I was obese, I was just mortified to be out in public. So how I deal with male attention is I just treat it as somebody being nice to me. I don't look at it as, oh, they're trying to get down my pants, or, oh, now I'm good enough to look at, but I wasn't good enough when I was fat. I try not to have negative connotations on it. I just try to go with the flow and smile at everybody. If you want to smile at me, I'll smile back. And, trying to find the right partner in life, for me, I'm looking for the right man in my life. You got to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. So I'm very open to dating different people and being true to myself. And I try, again, not to have preconceived notions, having a type or, a little checklist that I've made off that men have to meet criteria in order to qualify for a date with me. I like to think that at 36 years old, I've matured quite a bit, and, obviously there has to be some kind of physical attraction, but, I'm trying to look at a bigger, broader picture. So male attention is interesting. Yes, there's definitely a lot more of it, and it just gives us more of an opportunity to know ourselves better so that we can find the right partner in life. That's about it. As a matter of fact, I had met that really wonderful man who I really adore. I don't get to see him very often. Our living situation, he doesn't live around the corner. He's quite some distance away. We just started seeing each other. We just met. So, I don't close the door on other people. Also, if I date other people and they turn out to be frogs, maybe that'll make me appreciate this other guy that much more. So I did meet somebody else on Friday night, and I went out with him Saturday night, and it did exactly that. It made me appreciate the first guy that much more. So we'll just see how it all pans out. The more dates I have, the better my chances are I'll meet my Prince Charming. So anyway, I hope that helps everybody. I don't know if it does or not, but Anyway, that's it. And y'all have a good day, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.